morning. All right, welcome to the 9th of March. It's been a while. I've actually been out sick for the last week. No, it's not coronavirus. I've just had a bit of a cold, so no worries there. Anyway, I wanted to do a bit of a video on, what motivates me to be running, and it's actually a lot of the questions I get, not via YouTube, but just with people that I interact with, of, who see me running all the time. And they say, how do I stay motivated? Why do I run? Why do I do it? And I'm just going to do a couple of sprints just now this morning, just to kind of ease back into the running routine. But I figured, well, it's a great opportunity to share with you of how to stay motivated while running, because sometimes we start and we think we're going to be able to go out and do these amazing things, but it doesn't always pan out that way. Now, I get that, especially when I had planned to do a lot this month and I've been sick already, and it's kind of thrown everything out of the plan, but that's okay. But I guess I want to take you through a series of different things of, what running has been to me and why I'm motivated by it, but also how I got motivated into actually doing it in the first place. So I think the clear and number one thing for me though, and you've probably seen it as the intro to this video, is the spectacular mornings. I'm a morning person, but if you're out running in the morning, you get to experience, well, maybe not this, but you get to experience some beautiful sunrises, some beautiful sun. It's usually calm, light breeze. This is the kind of time that you want to be running, and it's perfect conditions usually. Now, not everyone's a morning person, so I understand that that's not going to be the case. However, I 100% believe if you start running in the mornings, try it out, try it for a week. Get up, do a run in the morning, even if it's for a couple of weekends, and maybe you can't commit to a single week altogether. Trust me, it's going to be something you won't regret. And if it doesn't work out to be for you, well, we can find something else for you. Anyway, let's go do these sprints, and then I'll tell you how to stay motivated when running. Alright, so I guess if you want to get running, if you want to be motivated running, the first thing you need to understand, if you've never ran before, understand what your goal is, understand what you're trying to achieve here, because it will play a different mental capacity on you in terms of, getting out and wanting to run. Now, if you're wanting to do weight loss, well, that's going to have a different kind of way of how you want to manage the expectations of your running versus and feel good, because now that's why I do it, because it makes me feel good, makes me feel strong, and it helps me keep fit as well. But two different elements there. Make sure you understand why. If you're wanting to be doing weight loss, well, I can give you a couple of tips on that one. First thing you want to understand is just start. Don't think about, oh, do I need a running plan? Do I need this? Just get out. Set a distance, maybe 2-3k, go for it. If you're struggling, if you need a walk it off. But do the 3k, even if it means you run 800 meters, walk 400 meters, whatever it may be. Just do it. Trust me. Now, the next time when you do it, aim for the same thing, 3k, but see if you can run a little further without stopping, and vice versa. The elements of a weight loss program while running is the growth element, right? So you're going to start to feel different things. Well, you're going to feel sore, you're going to feel tired, but as you start to do it more and more, you'll start to realize, hey, actually, I'm doing a bit further, I'm feeling a bit stronger, I can go a bit longer. And if you start to track those metrics each time you run, you'll see, hey, you can actually do this. That's how you stay motivated. Now, from the weight loss side, you want to be checking yourself on the scales. Now, I'm not saying, I don't want to make this all about, make sure you're weighing yourself every day or whatever. But for me, what worked when I was doing the weight loss was getting on the scales and seeing the progress. Progress is what helps you stay a course, stay motivated, and keep on track. So, track the progress, understand what's changing and what's not, and then you can adapt and change. For me, when I started running, I did my first 3k, I had to walk a couple of times. Second time, it was probably only 1 or 2 times that I actually walked, and then by the third or fourth time, I actually ran the whole thing. Now, I wasn't going to be super fast, but that's okay. Then once you get comfortable, you can start to push a little harder It's all about finding the routine of doing rather than perfecting, all right? So that's how to stay motivated when just getting into running. If you're just doing it for fit, just to feel good or whatever, you don't need any goal. Just get up, enjoy the beautiful morning. If it's a sunrise, use that as an example or an excuse to get up and enjoy yourself. Now let's talk about when things get tough. But first, let's keep going. Let's say you've been running for a while. You've been doing a good routine. Now you start to hit a bit of a roadblock. Things aren't changing. It's too sore, it's all too much. You just, mental, physical, whatever it is, you hit a roadblock and it starts to get tough. You get in a rut. Well, this is the perfect time to refresh yourself and remind yourself of why did you start in the first place? This is where setting that understanding and expectation in the start becomes so crucial, because if you haven't got that expectation set with yourself in the first place, how do you know where you're even going or what you're trying to achieve? You know, if you don't have that in place, well, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Don't get me wrong, some people don't require that and they can just keep running and keep going in terms of following a routine and being successful, but most people need an underlying foundation of structure, and that structure keeps you honest, keeps you fixated on a goal to what you're trying to achieve. So when you find yourself in a bit of a rut, come back to the drawing board and understand, okay, so why am I starting? I want to lose 5 kilos. I want to lose 10 kilos. I just want to be fit. I want to exercise 3 times a week, whatever it is. Understand what that is and scale it back to that. Bring it back to the basics. If you're not getting the results you want, maybe you've been doing the same thing too long. Maybe you're still doing that 3K and you're not doing anything more. It's time to step it up. Maybe what you need to do is actually step out of your comfort zone and move onwards and forwards. For me, when I first did my first 5K, I was terrified. I remember going from a 3K to a 5K and I'm like, oh, can I do it? Will I be able to do it? What happens if I can't? Well, the same thing applies. If you can't do it, you just walk it off and you keep going, but you finish that 5K regardless. It's a mental thing, playing on the physical, but as you start to see the progress that you're achieving each time you do a run, whether it's the calories you're burning, the speed you're going, the time you completed it in, or the distance you've done, all those things play with your mind and give you an adrenaline boost, a nice kick, and help you understand that, hey, you're actually doing this. Now, from the weight loss side, if you're jumping on the scales and things are changing, that's great. Now remember, they won't always change. Running isn't going to make you fit as a fiddle. It's going to help you lose some weight, but there's a whole bunch of other things you need to be doing too. Clearly, I run a lot and I ain't skinny, so there's some motivation for you. For me, I mean, originally when I started, and maybe I can do a whole video on this, is I originally started for the weight loss and I progressed and I realized, well, I actually enjoy running, you know, and that's probably some recommendations for you is, you know, you're competing against yourself. You got nothing else to prove to anyone. You don't have to prove nothing. The only person you got to prove it to is yourself. So if you get out and get it done, give yourself a tap on the back. If you get it out and you didn't get done as much as you would have liked, that's okay too. Remember, you have a better chance the next time you do it. So for me, after I realized that I actually enjoy the running, it came down to, well, let's see what I can do. Started doing a bit more of the distances, started to see what I could do with the speed. However, I was too scared to actually sign up for a race or anything like that. I just liked to be in my little bubble of doing the same and keeping to a routine. Now, routine is a common theme here, and that's what I would recommend you to stick to, but change the routine. And it builds courage, but it also takes courage to do a lot of these things. And once again, not to prove anything to anyone, but to prove it to yourself. Now, this is a bit of a cha-cha-cha-cha pep talk, but I think it's needed. I'm gonna go finish this this run off, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, just finished. Nice 2K. It's absolutely beautiful morning. All right, so I think that brings it to a wrap. For me, you know, if you want to run, you're going to do it. If you're trying to get into it because you've never done it before, you have to go with an open mind. You have to be willing to let yourself feel some stuff, mentally, physically, and you know, see it through. Running takes a lot of willpower, but it also has a lot of I guess benefits and rewards in which you'll start to see in your daily life. You just feel good, you feel light. There's so many things, and I'm not going to bore you with this in this video, but if you're interested, let me know, leave a comment. If you have any questions about all this, a bit more about, you know, how do I stay motivated, or what do I need to do, or I've been doing this and how do I come out of this rut, I'll attempt to answer it. I'm no pro when it comes to running, but for me, there's a lot of things that have worked and there's a lot of things that haven't, so happy to share. That's it from me. Thanks for coming along. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang, and hustle.